A Google product manager walked into Yosemite, looked at the trees and trails, and decided the emergency was that he didn't see enough people who looked like him. He recorded and issued an SOS, and not for water or anything like that, not for the trail, but for more black faces. And that single choice shows you exactly where some minds have been trained to go the second that they leave the city.
He's in this park taking a hike, and he comes across a bunch of white people. And this is his message to black people about his experience.
I'm in Yosemite National Park right now. There are no black people. Reporting live. If you're black and you're within a 50-mile radius, please let me know. There's no one here. I'm alone.
Okay. So I don't know what his name is, but Mr. Product Manager at Google, who happens to be the only black person at Yosemite, why don't you get on a plane and fly your ass to Atlanta, Georgia, and tell me if you have the same experience? I don't think he's going to do that. Why don't you fly your ass over to Memphis, Tennessee? Or Baltimore, Maryland? Or Washington, D.C.? Or the city of Chicago? If you're really fiending to be around more black people, there's plenty of places that you can go to. Okay? How about Houston, Texas? That's another place. Okay. See, this mindset, ladies and gentlemen, is toxic. Just because I show up somewhere and I'm the only black person in the room, does that mean something's wrong? I don't think so. Why would there be something wrong? We're only 14% of the population, which means what? Out of what? Every time you go somewhere, you may see one black person? That kind of makes sense to me. Okay. I don't know. It's lack of common sense. And it's all about him and not about actually enjoying Yosemite National Park, by the way, which I've been to. But okay, he gets an F just for the peak ignorance on his behalf.
He gets enough. Now, he's standing in one of the most beautiful places on Earth. And his first reaction is to treat the lack of melanin like a crisis. That's not awareness, by the way, y'all. That is a mind taught that comfort only exists when a room matches its reflection. He never asks why so few black people chooses these spaces. He simply assumes the park owes him a demographic. And the same panic shows up again from a completely different angle. Let's look at some of the responses.
Yosemite National Park right now. There are no black people. Reporting live. If you're black and you're within a 50-mile radius, please let me know. There's no one here. I'm alone. Thanks.
Then leave. If you are that upset that there are no other black folks there, then leave. You don't have to stay there. There's absolutely nothing keeping you there. Like, nothing at all. If you are that distressed because there are no other black folks, pick your happy ass up and go. You have more to fear from the bison that are yeeting everybody and hip tossing them all over the place than you do from any white person that's there. I can promise you, no white person there cares that you are the only black person there. They couldn't care less. They're out there hiking. They're trying not to get attacked by buffalo. They're trying to look at the wilderness and the gushers and all that. They are not thinking about your black ass at all. Stop complaining. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I could wave a magic wand and magically get rid of all racism. And people like this asshole here, who's a product manager at Google, would be like, yeah, you gotta bring it back. I have nothing to complain about. I have nothing to complain and be upset about. I have nothing to fight against. I can't rage this machine anymore. Shut your ass up. Go hike, enjoy the sights in the wilderness. Don't get picked apart and beaten up by a buffalo, and you'll be fine. All right? You know what? On second thought, I hope one of those bison do come and get you. Yeet your ass up in the air. Teaches you a lesson. Maybe when you land on your head, you'll start thinking differently. Zeke Arkham, got you 6. Bye.
Same man, same fear. A grown adult with a Google paycheck is stressed because the woods don't look like a diversity seminar. That's what he upset about, right? Now, we started calling this advocacy. It is not. It's not even a little bit. It's the inability to exist in a space that was never designed to mirror you at every turn. Equality equality would mean accepting that different groups have different interests, right? Think about it. Ideology rejects that simple truth, but the conversation, man, it didn't stay at the park. It escalates to bloodlines.
The majority of white Americans descend from people who arrived in the 19th and 20th century. Upwards of 75% of Black Americans trace their lineage to the founding era, to 1776.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I was looking at Trump. I was doing a video. I swear this was not a pro-Trump video. It just kind of ended up seeming that way. But I was making a video about the current president whose family like owns slaves, like people descend from slave owners. And it was every president except for Trump. And not because that like in theory they wouldn't have, but Trump's lineage is just so recent to America. Like I'm like, oh, like I'm more like, I don't subscribe to this blood and soil politic, but like if we were to play that game, like I'm far more American than Trump, like probably most Black Americans are. So yeah, I find that such an interesting concept that they're able to sort of split hairs between the white immigrants and the non-white ones. But I guess it's expected within American history.
Well, let me just say, this is why, as I mentioned earlier, Great Replacement theory is both empirically false and ahistorical. Empirically false because, for instance, they claim Europe is being overrun with immigrants when 91% of people who live in Europe right now were born in Europe. The United States, which has the largest foreign-born population in the world, 86% of people living in the United States was born in the United States. That doesn't like this huge sort of, so from an empirical standpoint, but ahistorical in the sense that you mentioned that Black people are quote unquote more American if we're thinking about it from the standpoint of blood and soil. So if we want to use their construct, the majority of white Americans descend from people who arrived in the 19th and 20th century, long after the United States was founded. Upwards of 75% of Black Americans trace their lineage to the founding era, to 1776.
Now, the claim is that Black Americans are more American because many of our families have been here since the 1600s, while large numbers of white families arrived later. American identity was never measured by how long your people sat on the land. It was measured by what you built and what values you carried, right? If time on the soil is the only scoreboard, you know, the people already here before any of us will win every argument. The talking points create a moral ranking that requires no excellence, just only ancestry. And that same ranking system shows up in language.
I'm convinced y'all really be trying to piss us off in real life. Like, y'all really be just trying to make us mad. Because why am I seeing all these white boys pop up on the timeline talking about they code switch and code switching? Y'all will gentrify, colonize, and steal everything. We cannot have anything. I mean, I feel like if we were walking around here eating shit, y'all would start eating shit because we're eating shit. Like, it just doesn't fucking matter what we do. Y'all gonna copy it. You do not code switch. You having a fake black set or thinking because you hanging around a whole bunch of black dudes and then you go and then you're with your lily white family, like that's code switching. Or I saw one who said he's in New York and he has a country accent and in New York he doesn't use it. That's not code switching. Code switching is what is required of black people to be accepted in workspaces. I mean, or even on these apps, when I see black people speaking in AAVE and white folks want to come on and try to correct them in grammar and shit and try to correct how we speak. That is code switching, that we cannot speak AAVE in professional settings because people would say we're uneducated. You are not code switching. And I'm really sick and tired of y'all thinking that y'all are part of everything. And thinking that if we do something, you do it too, when you don't. Like, y'all are really diabolical. And I mean, there's just nothing more that I can say, because every time I think that you guys have just done enough, you just do something else.
Now, when black people adjust speech for different rooms, it's called survival, right? You know, when anyone else uses the same language, it becomes colonization. That double standard does not protect culture. If anything, it freezes it. Real culture strength does not need gatekeepers. It spreads because it's useful, I guess. You know, the moment you need rules about who is allowed to sound like whom, you've already admitted the culture is fragile. You know? And when history gets rewritten, that's what happens. The same habit appears.
If you don't like black people, I better never catch you in an ambulance. I better never catch you in an ambulance. You better be walking to every hospital you go to. If you don't like black people, you should never be calling for an EMT to bring you an ambulance. You know why? Black people invented the ambulance. You're welcome. Freedom House. So if you don't like black people, I hope you're walking your gunshot wounds to the hospital. I hope you're walking your heart attack symptoms to the hospital. Make sure you walk that low blood sugar over to the hospital. Walk that broken leg over to the hospital. I hope you're walking your episodes of any kind to the hospital. Because remember, black people invented your ambulance, America. If you don't like black people...
Okay, so a woman says white people should not use ambulances because black people invented them. Emergency transport wagons existed in Spain in the 1400s, though. I don't even know how you say it. Prussia, then Prussia. This is what I'm learning. Then France. Long before Freedom House. Freedom House did import work that was very important for sure. And definitely standardizing modern paramedic training for sure. Turning that into permanent moral debt is the same habit of rewriting history for leverage instead of accuracy. And then the mother refuses the entire script. Y'all remember her from yesterday? The woman who said she moved to an all-white neighborhood? Oh, they tripped on her.
I'm going to tell you something. It's a damn shame how many black people are coming in my box talking shit to me because I am actually happy that I am living in a neighborhood that is clean, beautiful, clear, quiet. And it just so happened to be around nothing but white people. And I got black people trying to make me feel bad. Because I wanted to raise my son in an environment where I don't want him thinking smoking crack and being a prostitute and then keeping your neighborhood dirty and riding around disturbing the peace and with your pants up under your ass and you walk around wearing fucking bonnets and being a bunch of fucking dirty foot whores and your badass fucking kids is normal. Look at my damn son. Look at my child. My child is living a fucking life and you think I'm wrong for that?
I deserve to say she's fucking right. One time. Just one time. Okay. I just had to get it off my chest, y'all. Y'all know I don't do a lot of vulgar language here now and again, but we got to get it off our chest, though. Now, y'all remember we reviewed this the video of her yesterday. She moved to a quieter, cleaner town, and when she posted the video, she's now getting to catch heat for it. She refuses to raise her son around crack, open prostitution, dirty streets, she says, and also children running wild as if that is simply how we are. She wants him to see two-parent homes, respect property, and people who mind their business. That's not betrayal, if you ask me. That is the cleanest form of love a parent can show. Man, you're going to watch how the voices that claim to care about black children, you know, y'all watching this play out, how they just attacking a mother for removing her child from the chaos. The ideology is not about the children. It's about protecting a narrative. You know, every one of these moments is connected by the same demand. That reality rearranges itself to protect feelings and group identity. And this is not how it works. Parks must look a certain way. Language must be policed. History must be rewritten. Neighborhoods must stay the same, even when they're failing the next generation. But the mother in the last clip did something that ideology cannot forgive. She looked at the actual results around her and chose better for her son. She did not wait for a movement. She didn't wait to ask for no permission. She decided that peace, order, and two-parent examples matter more than applause from people who never have to live with the consequences. That choice is still available. The only question is whether we still have the courage to make it when the cameras are off and the comments are flying. Meditating in this video, I want you to write the word standards. Train up a child in a way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. Y'all be safe. Go check with somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.